old man.
Hola, hola, hola. ¿Cómo estás?
How do you say welcome, welcome, welcome back, Right Man in Spanish?
Bienvenido.
Benvenido, benvenido.
Muy bien.
Muy bien.
I saw something on what's his face? That guy that's super popular on YouTube, Beast, Mr. Beast. He was saying something about how he realized that the huge percentage of the world doesn't speak English, so he started doing all his videos. Like he started dubbing tons of his videos in different languages.
Oh yeah.
So we're doing this one in Spanish, right, man? This episode?
Yeah. You're gonna dub it for us?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Why don't you give us a quick recap and
Can I just before I do a recap, can I just express the importance of what we'll be experiencing here today?
Yeah, you mean the best episode ever? The number one episode in all of Pokemon? The pinnacle of Pokemon? The Everest peak of Pokemon?
So this is this episode that we're watching today is Ryman's favorite episode, if you haven't noticed. And that's about it. So
This is
you'll
it.
be happy.
Pokemon
And,
Peaks, Season 1, Episode 4. It's all downhill from here forever.
Right. This is the only thing that takes Ryman away from any sad feelings or feelings of inaccuracy.
This is it. This is all I have to live for.
This is all. This is true joy. Credit joy. His baby of the Pokemon episodes. Well, before I get started on the recap, you want to tell everybody what you've been up to, what you just started.
Oh, I was like, therapy? I'm just kidding.
Digging through my emotions.
Yeah. I just started a Nuzlocke. I think it's gonna be my first one on my own.
No, this is gonna be. We'll call it your first one because the MMO one was a disaster.
No, but we did those together though.
Yeah, and it was a disaster. So
Yeah,
this is.
they went horribly wrong. This is the first one I'm doing by myself. So we'll see how it goes. I have a spaghetti, a spaghettito. What is it called? Spaghettito?
Yeah, spaghettito.
I have a Torchy, the little fletchling.
Gumshoe, right? Or is it Young Goose?
Young Goose, and a Diglett. So
Couldn't get the Wiglet.
that's the squad so far.
That's the one you're taking all the way, right?
All the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, man? How are things going?
We'll hope you get a Wiglet as well to join the team, so you can
with
go
my luck,
into
I
the
probably
Elite
will.
Four for the Wiglet-Diglett combo.
Unbeatable.
I mean, if you think about it, Doug Trio and Wood Trio are like having 6 Pokemon on your team as it is, so might as well just go into with those 2.
Might as well.
Might as well. You bring up good points.
I can't rebuttal anything that you've...
Right. I'm doing okay.
Why don't you tell us what you were up to? You did something interesting.
I climbed a mountain. I looked upon the face of God. No, I just just did a little night hike last night. Got to see some beautiful night lights, like twinkling as if they were stars coming from the bottom of the earth.
Guys, he's being so modest. He wrestled bobcats, outsmarted owls, fought off hordes of insects. The mountain wasn't just a mountain, it was a sheer mountain, just straight up. He had to rock climb up.
Yeah, I had to find the HM, stick it up my butt, and then rock climb up.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the highlight for sure. I did see some bats, but that was about it. I did hear that there are some cougars out here in Utah, though.
Rabies can be fun.
That's why they rise and shout. The cougars are out. So, recapping.
Oh yeah, let me send on some invites.
Recap all over everybody here. We've got last episode was episode 3, which was called Catches the Pokemon, I believe. Ash Catches the Pokemon. I think that's what it's called. And
Yeah,
it starts off with him catching Caterpie. I guess like this, although this title was revealing of what was going to happen, and that annoys me sometimes. I guess it was somewhat fitting because a lot of the episode revolved around Caterpie. The fact that Misty doesn't like bug Pokemon, and so she hates Caterpie, and Caterpie has his feelings hurt. And then there's this whole back and forth conversation he has with Pikachu when Ash and Misty are falling asleep, where they're looking at the moon and he's seeing a Butterfree fly by, and he gets inspired. Wakes up next to Misty, and Misty's freaking out. Caterpie still has his feelings hurt. And then the next day they run into a Pidgeotto, and Ash throws a Caterpie to fight Pidgeotto because
bugs kill birds.
It happens all the time, like choking, indigestion. Help me out here.
Right. Those are the main two.
Those are the main two, yeah. Those are the only ones you really have to worry about, but they're important. It happens.
They're big ones.
They're big ones, yeah. That's what she said. And so, yeah, I don't really understand what we're supposed to learn about Ash, because in this episode he's kind of inadequate and stupid in his
That's probably what we're supposed to learn about him. He's just naive, doesn't know.
Yeah, but then later he makes up for it in a way that
you think
really
so?
shouldn't have happened, or I didn't really see coming. Of course, Pidgeotto beats the crap out of Caterpie, and then he realizes I probably should use Pikachu. By realizes, I mean Misty told him he should probably use Pikachu.
Also, by Misty telling him it was his only other Pokemon.
Right. So he electrocutes and paralyzes Pidgeotto and suspends him in the air as he catches a Pokeball. Then we got menacing Team Rocket for at least the last episode. And they come and they want to battle 2-on-1. Coughing and Ekans attacking Pikachu, and Coughing throws his toxic waste into Pikachu's eyes. Pikachu goes blind for the rest of his life. And so he has to use his only other option is Caterpie, because I'm pretty sure that Pidgeotto's in a wheelchair right now inside of his Pokeball. Actually, no, he does throw out Pidgeotto, and Pidgeotto puts up a good fight, but the 2-on-1 is a little too much for him. So his only options here are to give up to Team Rocket, or to use a bug Pokemon that he just caught that's very weak and has gotten beat up by Pidgeotto. Interesting enough, Ash thinks of using string shot. He uses string shot to wrap Coughing and Ekans. He doesn't wrap Ekans, he wraps Coughing, and so Coughing can't move, and he tackles Coughing into Ekans, making them go fly into space. And then Meowth tries to go at him, but then he gets all wrapped up. I guess I can see why in the game it slows you down when you get all mummified. And he beats Team Rocket single-handedly. And then he starts string-shotting himself all over his face. And he does that to evolve into a Metapod. So, yeah, this episode has it all. We have battles, we have 2 Pokemon caught, like 3 Pokemon battles or 4 Pokemon battles and a Pokemon evolution. The Pokemon that he just caught that same episode. So
Yeah,
I
he
don't
got
know.
two in one.
Yeah, but I mean, like Caterpie was caught that same episode that he evolved.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what bug Pokemon are known for, that they evolve very quickly. So, yeah, and I like that because that just makes them useful at the beginning of the game. Because later they are not so useful. But yeah, we get a Metapod, and then at the very end we see a Beedrill flying by, as foreshadowing us to Rayman's favorite Pokemon episode. Pokemon Season 1, Episode 4.
It's not just my
Challenge
favorite
of the
episode.
Samurai.
This is objectively the best episode. This is...
Why?
There's no arguing. There's no debate. There's no competition.
Why?
This is it.
Why? Why is it the best?
Just hang on to your chair real tight. You're about to find out. You're about to go for a ride.
Very slow ride. It's a kiddie ride. Once upon a time, there was a garbage truck driver, and he was picking up garbage. And he was getting through a neighborhood, picking up all the trash, and then he was getting back onto the main road to drop off his load. And he sees, as he's driving by, he sees this little baby duck on the street. So he stops the garbage truck. Because this little duck is in the middle of the street and it's not moving. So he gets out of his truck and the little baby duck's like, quack, 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 you know how they do that.
Did the duck want some grapes?
Hey! Got any grapes? No, he was just like a not a duck that could speak English, you know? Okay, I sound way better on Twitch now. Yeah, I think we always gotta do headphones or else my voice sounds super echoey.
Interesting. Okay.
Alright, well, since you're back, we'll just end the story.
No, on a cliffhanger?
Yep.
What? So many questions.
Stay tuned until the end of the episode to find out what happens to the duck.
Alright, you ready to go?
Yes.
Let's go.
Enter the samurai. I mean, challenge of the samurai.
Enter the samurai.
I'm thinking of the Shredder one. Enter the Shredder. Excuse me. Hey YouTube, welcome back. Hope you caught the episode on the link below. If not, we'll just tell you what happened.
Yeah. I should do that. So, there is not an episode in all of Pokemon that we suggest you watch more, that we insist you watch more than this one.
You use "we" so sparingly.
Yeah. We, me, Brian, the Banana Bros, the Pokemon community.
This is an official statement.
This is an official statement backed by the creator of Pokemon himself. So, this episode starts with a scream in the forest as we zoom into Misty encountering a Weedle. Ash wants to catch it, so he begins to fight it with a Pidgeotto. Everything's going as it should, and Pidgeotto's just manhandling this Weedle back and forth. But before Ash has a chance to throw his Pokeball and capture it, he is interrupted by a forest wandering samurai who draws a sword on him. Ash counters with a Pokemon battle challenge, where Pidgeotto fights Pinsir, and Pinsir wins. Ash brings out Metapod, and Metapod wins through a Harden.
Just getting very, very hard.
Yeah, just like me right now. Explain the episode. I'm using Harden right now.
It's super effective.
It's super effective. Samurai brings out his Metapod. The Metapods face off, just staring into each other's eyes, getting harder and harder and harder. Hours go by.
Are there no limits to how hard?
Yeah, they just keep getting harder.
Yeah.
When it turns out that the Weedle Ash let go made it back to its home base, a tree in the forest, where he alerts the other Beedrill, and they swarm and attack. They come in, scoop down Metapod, and carry him away, while Ash and the others run for cover. Samurai shames Ash for abandoning his Pokemon, and Ash looks like he might feel bad. But as it shows us, he does not. First thing he does when he recaptures Metapod is blame Samurai for everything. He trips and falls. He drops Metapod. And he begins to take responsibility when...
Because he realized that blaming Samurai wasn't working.
Yeah. Samurai... Yeah, his first... Plan A didn't work.
Yeah.
And so he went to Plan B. And it looks as if Metapod jumps in front of Ash to save him from a Beedrill. But I think he threw him.
What?
I think he threw him. The Metapod. I think it was attempted murder. I think Ash was trying to save himself and throws the Metapod.
What?
In the way.
How? It shows Metapod jump off the floor into the Beedrill.
I don't think there's any way that was enough momentum.
I don't know.
They can make it that far.
A Metapod that's that hard using tackle.
You don't think its hardness weared off after a night with Kakunas? You think it just stays? He's just rock hard still. He's just.
He just stays as rock hard until he evolves. No, until he gets that loadout.
Well, the Beedrill breaks a crack into Metapod's hard shell, along with breaking one of its needles. It flies away, and Metapod evolves into Butterfree, who puts everyone to sleep with sleep powder, except for our protagonist team.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
What are your thoughts on this episode?
Why don't you just fangirl a little bit, and then I'll come back and bring everyone back to reality.
You don't want to tell us what you think?
I'll let you go first.
So this episode, I think, has some of the most unique animation styles in Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true.
From
at least from the first season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's also a true statement. From the first season, from what we've gone through so far, the evolutions look amazing. The backdrops, the glowing red eyes. You know, like this actually has some like suspense in it. They're running away from an actual threat in Pokemon. You know, not like a joke like usual. While the Beedrills may not be strong individually, they show what powers and numbers can really do.
Who said they're not strong individually?
Anytime they get attacked, they fly away. Like the Thundershock flew away. The Harden flew away.
But Pikachu like exploded a Pokemon Center with its Thunder Shock.
That's true.
And Metapod was like, I mean, as hard as you can possibly get. I'm sure the Beedrill was uncomfortable. Like
right.
he broke his stinger on the Metapod. That's how hard he was.
I'm just saying, Ash, a 10-year-old boy, took that electric shock and was able to run away afterwards.
I mean, I don't think Pikachu attacks Ash in the same way he attacks Team Rocket or other Pokemon that causes threats.
No, but he got the Beedrill and Ash at the same time.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I just don't want to hear that kind of slander on Beedrill.
Right. I do want to point out that Samurai's vocabulary is really good, you know? And again, we hear Ash getting talked to like a parent should have parented him. You know, like, you don't abandon your Pokemon. You don't send out pooped out Pokemon, you know, like, don't blame your failures on me. You know, he was dropping some dimes on Ash of knowledge.
Only a novice
yeah.
With a pooped out Pokemon.
It's one of the few characters in this first season that almost any time he spoke, there was purpose and like value in what he was saying every time. You know, there was like no lines that he said that was just like not either building his character or tearing down Ash's in a constructive way.
Yeah, you can tell that Ash's mom never talked to him like this.
No, yeah, completely.
She'd just say something like, "No, you're amazing. Everything is Metapod's fault.
Yeah.
You should have been stronger."
I do feel.
But Mom, he was really hard.
Yeah. The pacing was good in this episode. I feel like everything they wanted to do had enough time to do it. Nothing was really rushed. And they kind of, we talked about this in a couple episodes, how they kind of took that like Encanto theme, you know, and like stuck in one area to really develop the characters, the plot, the lesson, you know. And while the sleep powder may have been a cop-out, it had to end some way in 20 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
This is just,
and this would have been able to take all those Beedrills.
And this is just top tier nostalgia, man. Like, when people think of the first season of Pokemon, one of the first things that come to mind is the Metapod versus Metapod fight. It's classic.
You're delusional.
No, it's so good. It's so good.
You think that everyone that's watched Pokemon,
season 1,
the first episode,
when they think of season
everyone
1,
that's watched season 1, when they think of the season 1, the first thing that comes collectively into everyone's minds is two Metapods hardening themselves right next to each other.
If they have good taste.
Okay. Count me as having bad taste, I guess. Although, to be honest, after knowing you this long, it probably is the first thing that's going to come to mind. It'd be like, do you remember season 1 of Pokemon? I remember doing this thing with Rayman where we talked about the samurai all the time.
Yeah. We just looked at each other and got hard.
Yeah.
A lot of life lessons learned.
Yeah. Yeah. I found out what blue balls were.
That's true.
That's true.
What did you think it was? It was like something was wrong. Like it was a medical condition.
I've never heard of it. Yeah. How'd you like the jokes in this episode?
Man. I feel like the jokes landed, man. I was feeling them.
You liked the Caterpie?
Yep. Maybe it's a Caterpie.
Yeah. I like that Pinsir, squeezes its prey right where it hurts. No, that wasn't Pinsir. That was Weedle.
Weedle.
Weedle stings. Weedle uses his needle to sting the the whoever's attacking him
It's
where it hurts.
Oh, how did it know I had a bruise on my shin?
Yeah.
Why did? How did it know that? How did it know my lower back was hurting?
Yeah.
It just does.
And
it stings you.
How did he know my balls were sensitive?
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. That's funny.
That is one thing though.
I
the
like,
jokes did land for me.
Yeah. I like how Samurai kind of introduced himself. He introduced himself as shrewd and completely invincible in battle.
True.
Later we find out what the heck does shrewd mean. I don't even know. Let me see. Shrewd definition. Merriam-Webster. Here we go. Marked by clever, discerning, awareness, and hard-headed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's true. He's shrewd. And I guess when he says he's completely invincible in combat, he doesn't mean in Pokemon combat because he lost to every single trainer from Pallet Town.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just means by like when he sticks out his sword and the other person doesn't have one. According to Ryan, that's what he means.
You think he wants a sword fight? Yes.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I definitely think he'd be happy if someone pulled out a sword on him.
Ash is like, I got a stick, and he's like, Ash, use Harden. As he speaks to himself.
That's child's play. Shoot the sand. I like how you described the sand attack scene, sir.
Oh yeah. That's child's play. He's just constantly blowing sand in its face. Its mouth was like wide open.
It's just like, I can take it. No, I think Ash's Metapod might be a special one because he can learn the move Maximum Harden.
Yeah.
Which is something I think we should all strive.
Maximum hardness.
Did he say hardness?
I don't know.
He said something like hardness or hardening, or something like that. Oh man, I think for me the episode really kicks up and becomes exciting when they run into the Kakunas. I feel like we see Metapod the episode before, and we see Metapod in this episode, and he seems like a very unthreatening Pokemon, like a Pokemon that's pretty, I guess, like, I don't know.
Is Beedrill a flying type or just bug?
Beedrill is, I don't know. I think it's flying. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it here. I guess. I'll see what it is. Alright. What was I saying? Beedrill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beedrill. I believe he's flying. Oh no, bug poison.
Bug poison.
Yeah. So for me, it really kicked up when the Kakunas, when we see the Kakunas,
wasn't that just such a cool design too? Them like hanging from trees and clanged onto the trunk and.
Yeah, it definitely was well done. And they looked so much more threatening than Metapod.
Oh my gosh, so much more.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the numbers. Like, as soon as they see them, Misty and Samurai and everybody saying, hey, shush, hush, we need to be quiet, we need to, like, this is a dangerous situation. Which I don't feel like anyone would say if they ran into a big group of Metapod.
No. Oh
God.
Do you see how hard it's getting? They're like, I'm just intimidated, demasculated.
when the Kakunas hear them and they move their eyes to look at them, it reminds me of that scene from Land Before Time where they think they've run into a dead shark tooth, and they're just hitting it, or Sarah's like hitting it, and then it opens its eyes, and you're like, oh crap, you done it now. That's kind of like, you get that same feeling when the Kakunas look over, like, oh crap.
Oh yeah, for
now
sure.
Now they're gonna evolve because they feel like their area is being threatened, and that's what they do. They evolve into a big horde of Beedrill, and that is a frightening scene. Very frightening. Beedrill is one of my favorite Pokemon. Beautiful design, but definitely a Pokemon I would not want to run into. At least not in a horde.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ryman said, evolutions in this episode were perfect. Completely perfect.
Yeah.
I think like later on in the episode we see evolutions that are better as far as when they occur, what the predicament or what like the issues at hand, like where the episode is going. So I think we have better evolutions in that sense. But visually, I think Ryman's right. Like visually, I think these are some of the best. Kakuna to Beedrill, and the Metapod to Butterfree, really great.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't get much time with this Caterpie. The same episode evolves into Metapod, and the very next episode into Butterfree. And I think they kind of led us down the wrong road on this one because we see his first Pokemon evolve so quickly twice, and then like the rest of his Pokemon either don't evolve or take a long time to evolve.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of like showing us the mechanics of Pokemon, you know, like this is what they're capable of if they get strong, you know. But I agree, it's pretty inconsistent.
I mean, I get that, like showing us all the mechanics, but I still feel like we should get more evolutions throughout the season. There's a nice little moment where Metapod evolves into Butterfree to save Ash and to attack this horde of Beedrill. And right before he does that, he looks at Ash, and Ash just kind of says, "Yeah." And I guess that's some kind of understanding that he has.
Yeah. It was
I don't know. It's something lost in translation.
Butterfree's like, but, like trying to say its name. And he's like, yeah, but.
You got it. You got it. Put those Beedrills to sleep, and then we'll.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. In this episode, Pikachu is useless. As was in his last episode, right? I don't know. I think they want Pikachu to still be overpowered because they showed us what a monster he is in the Pokemon Center episode. So I think they're just kind of holding back. They've been trying to hold him back in these episodes where he can probably easily take care of whatever threat they're dealing with.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm okay with Pikachu not getting all the spotlight, especially some of these first episodes. And I think last episode we talked a lot about, you were saying how Caterpie's victory over Coughing and Ekans was unearned. I think in this episode, the Samurai giving Ash his respect was pretty much unearned as well. Ash didn't beat him in a battle.
Yeah, he did. Samurai forfeited.
Okay. But by then, he didn't... Samurai forfeited, but he forfeited because he wanted to save his Pokemon. Ash didn't forfeit, and he lost his Pokemon. So that's what made Samurai lose respect for him. Because he let Metapod be taken away. And then, when he goes to save Metapod, it's really, again, Metapod saving him. And then Beedrill saves them from the bees. Ash didn't really put his life on the line, or other than like grabbing Metapod.
Maybe that's what he's like. Maybe he's like respecting the fact he went back for Metapod.
I mean, I guess that that would have to be it. I don't know. I feel like if that's the case, Samurai, you're giving out your respect a little too easy for how much talk you do.
Right. If only you knew who you should.
I mean, he was talking about just being inspired by other people, other Pallet Town trainers, and their battles. And now, here we are, and he's inspired by Ash grabbing Metapod, and then, according to you, throwing it at a Beedrill.
I'm telling you, I think it was attempted murder.
Yeah. I guess he was impressed with Metapod having a good relationship with Ash, so much as to evolve in order to save Ash.
Well, what he said was he was impressed with how well he worked with Butterfree so quickly after it evolved.
I mean, I guess I can see that, because some Pokemon, when they evolve,
like Charmeleon, yeah,
are kind of hard or difficult to deal with, or even like Magikarp and Gyarados or whatever. There's a lot of Pokemon, but I think that's not. I don't think that's the norm. I think that's more of the exception. Those Pokemon who are harder to deal with when they evolve.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we give props to Ash for. Yeah. Butterfree saved Ash. Butterfree saved the day, and he was the real hero, not Ash. So I don't know. I think he.
You see, that's why
more.
That's why Butterfree gets a whole episode dedicated to trying to get laid, because it saved everyone's life.
Touche. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that then. We're thinking of the future. Just give Ash all the credit and let Butterfree get his lady. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have anything else, I've got the encounters here.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Alright. I'm putting them on the Twitch chat here, and I'm going to just read through them. We've got Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, Pinsir, Metapod, and Butterfree.
Who are you picking?
Beedrill. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, and then its Mega Evolution is one of my top 10 favorites. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfect Pokemon for me. So, I mean, if we're talking about evolution, I'll still even go with Weedle or Kakuna because it evolves so easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, Beedrill's my guy. Or gal.
Oh man, I think I'd pick a Pinsir. I'd love to use one. I've never used a Pinsir before, but I do like the design.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's useful in certain situations for sure.
Like if you're in a desert and there's a sandstorm?
Exactly. I need a Pokemon that can shield me for this sand.
Mm-hmm. It's just like walking through it.
Do you have to vacuum your Pinsir?
Its eyes.
Get in there and just with the hose and suck up the sand out of his mouth. That's funny. Yeah, I don't hate that pick. Pinsir's a cool bug type. If I had to do a bug run, I would like Pinsir on my team too. In fact, Pinsir was the first shiny I ever caught on Platinum.
Oh?
Yeah, that was fun. It's blue. Shiny Pinsir.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, like dark blue. Yeah, he was nice. I think I named him Lennon. To be the, like John.
Yeah. That's funny.
Have you heard of the Beatles? They're like this band.
No.
Kind of an old band. Have you seen that movie Yesterday, where everyone forgets the Beatles existed, except this
No,
one
but
guy?
I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Have you seen Yellow Submarine? The animated movie that the Beatles put out?
With the blue meanies?
Yeah.
No.
You're like with the blue meanies, where they travel around. Subscribe the whole plot? No, I haven't.
No, I haven't. Yeah, I really haven't. Is it like a feature-length movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's really, really good. I love it.
Like, does it feel like you're in a drug trip?
Yeah.
Oh,
It does.
it does.
It kind of reminds me of like a kid version of what's the Pink Floyd, like Another Brick in the Wall movie? Ever seen a Pink Floyd movie?
I've seen Pink Floyd's concert, but never a movie.
No? They have a movie too out there. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine, because a Pink Floyd concert is pretty crazy too. It's hard to describe.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's go on to ratings.
Oh my god. Please tell me what you're rating this. Now that you've seen season 1 and you know what Pokemon has to offer.
Yeah, I feel like I can give it a true rating now after we've seen the entire first season. Okay. Let me just say what I give points for. The evolutions, I give points for that. Just a story about a horde of Pokemon chasing after you and just being threatening, like, points for that. Some of the samurai's quotes, yes, I also give points for that. And yeah.
We had some good battles too, like Pidgey and the Weedle, Pidgey and the Pinsir.
Pidgeotto and the Weedle was not much of a battle, but I guess it is like what a typical, round one
Pidgey
battle would be like. You just kind of own the bug and then catch him at the end. Try to catch him. They were unsuccessful, but yeah, that was okay. I won't go into what I don't like about it too much because I love you. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
No, tell us.
I don't really love this. I do love some of the things he said, but I don't really love the samurai. I don't get the whole like attacking people with swords because you want to just chat with them.
He's got like little man syndrome.
Little man syndrome, yeah. I don't like the Metapod versus Metapod fight. Although it is way more entertaining watching it with Ryan than watching it alone. I'll say that. Because at least I have someone to be hard with me. I did see. I do like the Pinsir battle. It wasn't much of a battle, but it was cool to see how they designed Pinsir in this episode. It made him look really, really cool. I feel like it made him look way cooler than the game does sometimes. I didn't. Oh, another part I didn't mention I really did like was with his Team Rocket's whole thing today. Their whole what do they call it?
Their motto?
What do they call it? Is it just motto or?
Their
it's
slogan.
not a motto though. It's I don't know. They're saying when they're like doing it, and it's like, "Shh, you're gonna wake up the Beedrill." It's like, "Team Rocket, blast off at the speed of light," and then fireworks, waking up all the Beedrill. That was actually one of the funniest parts. I really enjoyed that part. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the samurai. I'm not really sold on this. Oh, Ash abandoned Metapod because the Metapod was like taken away, and it's not like Ash wasn't coming back from it. It's just that at that very moment he had to hide so that he wouldn't get 100 needles in his back, and then he was going right back to getting Metapod. So I'm not really sold on Metapod ditching him. Maybe that's the way Metapod saw it, but I didn't really see it like that. And then, even if Metapod saw it like that, when Ash came back to get him, and then takes responsibility for what he did, I don't know that that was like strong enough for Metapod to be like, oh, he actually does love me. Let me evolve and save everybody's lives. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this extra, and he's a big part of this episode. I'm not a big fan of Misty in this episode either. I don't think she was very necessary, but like everything else was really good. I can't deny that. Everything else I really enjoyed, and it's fun watching it with you right now. So I'm gonna give it a 5.
A 4.5.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. 4.
A 45 out of
4 Beedrill glowing eyes.
So the reason that I think Ash abandoned Metapod is when the swarm was coming and they had time to withdraw their Pokemon, Samurai withdrew his Pokemon while Ash did not, leaving the Beedrill out there vulnerable to be taken.
The Metapod.
Yeah, he left the Metapod out there vulnerable to be taken, which it was. And then, yes, he proceeded to run. While I agree that he had to run, he not only left it there after the Beedrill swarm went away, but he left it there all night and went back for it in the morning. When he could have stayed up or went late at night, early morning before the sun came out.
Oh, they did sleep in, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. I just thought they were like in their in his cabin. They actually did sleep over.
Yeah. So I definitely do feel, and I feel like the Samurai draws the sword a lot. I mean, if I would be on edge if I lived in a Beedrill infested forest.
Are you trying to address all my concerns about this episode and explain to me why it should be a 5?
Yeah. But I agree. Everything was. I enjoyed all the jokes. Team Rocket was hilarious. I mean, I can't give this anything else but a 5.
Yeah.
Five big dick B dicks.
Well, would you say from this episode that your favorite parts are the Metapod versus Metapod and the Samurai character?
So my favorite parts are actually the Pokemon evolving. Just the design, the animation was just like so good. And the animation in this episode is just so good. Just like the Kakunas, the Beedrills, the animation, although it wasn't much of a battle, the animation of the Pidgeotto swooping down on the Beedrill, the Weedles, was just really good to see because that's how the battle would look, if it really happened, or if that was just nature, I think it was really good to see that one-sided battle, because Pokemon can kind of level the battle power sometimes just to make things entertaining. Like the Caterpie and the,
right.
Fight with Team Rocket.
That was well done.
Samurai was entertaining to me and very well spoken for such a silly dress character.
Such a silly character, period.
Yeah, I mean, I just tell myself he's wearing the armor because he's living in a Beedrill infested forest and needs to survive out there.
You've got this whole story for him, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, yes, that's where his cabin is. That's where he lives,
Yeah.
I think this is one of the... Now I've seen season 1 is one of the best episodes in the season. For sure. The best.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about all that.
Probably season 2.
It's a I'm saying it's a really great episode. It is a great episode, but I would not put it on. I'm not putting it on my top 10.
What did you originally give it? What episode are we on? Oh, it's not even on there.
Yeah. I don't know what I originally gave it. Imagine something like 4. Anyways. that's what we got for you guys today.
Yeah.
I hope your life's been changed, been baptized by the fire.
I know mine has.
And I hope you were hard with us as we watched these Metapod episode. Last Metapod episode.
I'm still hard.
Yeah. Do we ever see a Metapod again? I don't think so, right?
I don't know.
Anyways. Any last words?
No. Awesome episode. Chef kiss. This whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll do how about a chef's good, terrific.
A little chef Boyardee.
Chef
Or what's the Swedish chef?
Oh yeah. Pork.
I get us a pork.
Yeah. Best. That's the best character ever created, man. I love the Swedish chef.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Keep the bananas on the chin. And show your significant other those Nala eyes. By the way, I explained Nala eyes to my wife the other day. She had no idea.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. What'd she say when you explained it? Was she like, oh, it makes so much sense?
She's like, no. And then I showed her the picture, and she's like, you guys are ridiculous, you know? I was like, but you can't deny it. Now you can't deny it. You can't deny it. It's sexy. Like, those are doomy eyes.
Yeah.
Anyways, see you guys.
Yep.